Hello, welcome back. Last time I fed some cats, and did it pretty darn efficiently, if I do say so myself. Target practice. Is this perhaps some sort of follow-up to the carbine target illuminator, I wonder? How could it be? Enzo Capretti. Thoughts? Begin forwarded message from Enzo Capretti to security. Status on the new equipment? From security to Enzo Capretti. The non-lethal devices work, but they don't fire like conventional weapons. In particular, the trajectories are slightly different, and most of the security personnel here haven't had a chance to become used to them. If we had a firing range where we could practice, I think we would feel a lot better about using them. According to Lisa, there is an electrical engineer in her department who could handle this. I'll pass it along. Is Lisa my boss? I don't think I've met her yet. S-Fam. Have I met an S-Fam? I don't believe so. Oh, Lisa Sumora. Lisa. Here's why I was confused about this. I thought Lisa was someone else I had not met. She referred to herself in the third person. I forgot what her first name was, and I read this and thought, okay, you're talking about someone else who's named Lisa. It's her. Okay. Right. Derek and Lisa were the first ones I talked to here. Worked with them on Ocean's Bounty, handheld timer. Okay, so anyway. Enzo Capretti. So what are we doing? Score 1, score 2. Detect, target X, target Y. Detect is a simple input that detects when a trainee has fired their weapon. Target X and target Y are simple inputs that detect where the target has been hit. Oh wow, cool. Score 1 and score 2 are X-bus outputs connected to large numeric displays. 2 trainees each take 4 shots and score points depending on where they hit the target. To determine the point value of a shot, find the Euclidean distance using the Pythagorean theorem between the hit location and the center of the target located at 50-50. Are you telling me you want me to do a square root in this language? I can do it with a lookup table. These values are small. Okay. Great. That's what I'm going to have to do because I don't want to implement like Newton-Raphson with integers like this. I'd have to look up how to do that. I've done it once, but that was a long time ago. I don't remember the details. The numeric displays should be updated with the trainees' scores as they compete and should flash 3 times at the end before turning off to indicate that the game is over. Oh boy. Alright, let me just clear on my schedule for the next few hours. Maybe this won't be so bad, but it sounds a little intimidating. Distance less than 10, 4 points. 10 less than or equal distance less than 20, 2 points. 20 less than or equal distance 30, 1 point. Okay, negative 2 points, okay. So minus points for being too far outside. Alright, so this is a 4-point zone, this is a 2-point zone, this is the 1-point zone, this is a minus 2-point zone. Score 1, score 2. X-bus outputs connected to large numeric displays. Wait, hold on. No. I can't use a lookup table here. No. You want me to actually implement a square root with 0 to 100 values. Are you serious? Hold on, no, I don't have to. I don't need, all I have is a few thresholds. I only need square root if I want an actual uncurved absolute distance. But if I'm just doing a threshold comparison, I can work with squared values on both sides. I know how this works. Okay, great. That is fine then. I will still have to square, which interestingly in this language is not absolutely trivial. Actually, if my values... Wait, don't I have range problems with doing squared values? So 100 times 100 is 100,000. 67 times 67 is still going to be out of range of the 999 integer limit. Okay, so I can't just simply square. Okay. So yeah, it's time for some math, and I don't get a coprocessor here. This is fine, I might have to look up some reference material. Let's work on the rest of the program, but assume I can solve the distance formula problem later. So, I mean... Okay, let's start here. So 3 simple inputs, by the way. That's already kind of annoying. I guess I'll solve that annoyance with one of these. Other way around. You get x0, you can have p0, you can have p1. I put that in the middle, so that's going to be 10. Okay, so... when you get a thing, you pass those on to somebody who's going to do some square rooting, and probably is going to go on to give score 1, score 2. Although, no, hold on. How do I know which of these to write to? 4 shots? Each take 4 shots and score points depending on when they're hit. Oh, also flash 3 times at the end, right, just for an extra little challenge, as if what's here wasn't enough. -2, -1. So first 4 are all for trainee 1. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this was a miss. Yeah, okay, so this is just a straight up miss. Didn't even hit the target. Alright, so count to 4 with the detections. Alright, so yeah, you'll have easily enough job before you even think about doing square roots. What's this about flashing the... Flash 3 times at the end before turning off. Sounds like these are continuous output. If I don't output something to them for a tick, they'll show nothing, so that's how I flash. Okay. I have some thoughts for how to proceed here. I'm going to move this up. Why? That won't save me any space. I don't know, it feels good. Makes this a little less cramped. Wastes this space, but there was nothing I was going to do with that anyway. I'm curious about something. What's your threshold? It doesn't say. I don't know what a DX300 does if I read from it when a simple pin it's connected to is a value other than 0 or 100. And the documentation doesn't appear to specify. I would assume it's probably 50 and above is 1. 49 below is 0. But I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to this. Just out of curiosity, like if I'd move this here, what it would do. Anyway, you need to count to 4 and alternate a value. What I'm imagining is you detect the shots and keep track of who's shooting. Then you send a message to someone saying, this player shot at this location. Then that someone else figures out a way to run a distance formula to score it. And outputs to the appropriate score. Or this will send a command saying, I've counted to 4 twice, therefore you should flash the score displays and quit. Okay. Yeah, that's reasonable. Okay, so when you detect... This is terrible, I hate it. No. Okay, here we go. Here's what I do. Okay, so Dat is going to keep the player number. Ac is going to count to 4. So every time this code executes, I add 1. If I've hit 4, if I haven't hit 4, then I jump to wait. If I've hit 4, then I see what my dat value is. If it's 1, if it's 1, then I want to move a special value to x2, and then reset the state of this. I should also reset ac. Okay, that just fits. I think that's all correct. So wait for an event from this. If it hasn't happened, just wait. When you detect, player number goes here, 0 or 1. If a 0 or 1 has come here, then you get coordinates, and you have to do something with them. I count. If I've counted to 4, if I haven't counted to 4, then I just keep waiting. If I have counted to 4, then I reset my counter. And if this is player 1, player index 1, then I tell you, hey, the game's over, flash the score, and then turn off. So that's what the -1 message is going to be. In both cases, flop the value to the other way. So if I'm advancing from player index 0 to player index 1, I don't do this message. Okay, this all looks right to me. Now, TXP, that's not an instruction. TCP minus jump flash. I don't know what flash is going to do. Something though. Okay, so if it's a player number, I don't like that, but it could work. Actually, I don't like that at all. Okay, so right here, you're getting some coordinates and you have to do something with them. The coordinates range from 0 to 100. I need to treat it like... Oh, wait. Okay, no. Center is 50-50. Okay, so I need to subtract 50 and then do a... Oh boy, yeah, so a 50-50 is a bullseye. Are there any bullseyes here? 2, 4, 6, 5, 6, 8... Yeah, no, there are not. Nobody's that good a shot in this set of test data. 4163 is pretty close. Okay, so, I wonder how strict it is on, like, the specific rounding thresholds I use and stuff. Testing this might get weird. Okay, so with integers, how do I get the magnitude of an integer vector? Well, I need a square root that treats 50 as what? So I don't have any floating point numbers. Okay, now hold on. What's 50 times 50? That's, I should know this off the top of my head, but I don't. This should be very easy. But when there's a microphone right in front of my face and the entire world watching, let's be exact about this. 50 times 50 is, so 50 times 10 is 100, is 500, so 500 times 5. Yeah, okay, so 2500, out of range. Okay, so 2500 is out of range, however, maybe that's okay. 30, okay, so distance 30. What's the square root of 1,000? Okay, that one I can't do in my head. Let me check. Okay, this is cool. That's why these values are what they are. Square root of 1,000 just happens to be 31 and change. So I can indeed... Wait. Can I? Is this greater than 30? Okay, so 30 plus... Where'd my ability to do math go? I'm just used to being in a completely different headspace when I do this. Distance formula in 2 dimensions, x squared, square root of x squared plus y squared. But if that's right on the border... Hold on, okay, so what is 30 times square root of 1/2? Okay, I did some more math. I've convinced myself that this works out. So I can indeed... I can do the distance formula. Okay, so here, let's see. X times x plus y times... That's the distance formula. Okay, well, here, let's erase some spaces so I can fit a closing parenthesis. So this is what I need to calculate, and I did some range checks. This number will always... It will overflow if the distance is great enough, but if it overflows, it's already at the negative 2-point threshold. So everything that is scoreable will fit inside this range if I run this calculation on it. So this part I can do in this language, no problem. This part, I don't have to. Again, I have thresholds. Right, so I have thresholds. I just, instead of doing a square root, which would be ridiculous, I take this instead, and I compare against that, and that. And these I can just hard code. Oops. That's 100, that's 400, right? Yeah, should be. So this will be 900. Okay, great. That's much simpler. All right, good. So I went from having to implement square root in this language to just 3 threshold values after multiplying these by themselves and adding them together. Okay, there we go. Math saves the day. Okay, so this reads the player number in a really awkward way. I got a much better way to do that. There, that's a much less awkward way to do that. It might be a line shorter. I think it is. Okay, so read the player number into there. I'm gonna need some assistance because I need to multiply 2 numbers by each other. Somebody else needs to store this dat. Okay, here's a reasonable way to do this, I'm gonna say. Can I dodge? I can. Check it out. I can fit that there. Ah, that wire doesn't go there. Never mind. Well, you know what? I can do it with MC4000. This seems silly, but oh, really, the P1 is there. I'm just trying to compact things here, okay? Just let me. There, it let me. Oops. Okay. So you're gonna be my my distance comparer, are you? I don't know. I'll try it and see how it goes. You're probably just gonna square and add. Actually, I probably can't even do that. I can't. Hold on, I don't need to repeat, do I? No, I don't need to repeat. Okay, here's how this can work. Move x1, no, x0, x1. Really? I'm making a Hey, wait, I got a much better idea. Instead of doing any of that, let's just move this last. No, it has to be first, so you know what you're doing. I need an extra register here. Alright, whatever. Let's ignore the player number. I'm just going to overwrite it in that register for now, and I'll decide how to deal with that later. So here's what I would do. I would move x0 ac, mul ac, move ac dat, move x0 ac, mul ac, add dat, and that gives me a distance. Okay, and I can't do the threshold comparisons here because this is out of stuff. I'm going to have to continue this in another microcontroller. But if I would have put this elsewhere... Oh, interesting. I can do it with... Okay, what are the rest of the steps of this? How will Flash work? Somebody needs to keep score 1 and score 2. Oh, and... yeah, these are continuous... outputs. Okay, I need a scorekeeper module, and that's who's going to do the flash. So maybe I can fit this in here just... okay, great. So, alright, you're the scorekeeper. I don't know if you need to be this big yet, but for now I'm going to make you this big. Sure, X... let's just make this. That X1 goes to score 1. You don't have any simples. X2 goes to score 2. Sure. Now... when you first receive a message on X0... okay, so AC is score 1, DAT is score 2. Oh, okay, so... TCP X0, 0. Alright, you're gonna have the flash. This is real annoying. So I was thinking, when I first get a message here, you're going to go into a different mode. Oh shoot, I can't SLX at all. I can't SLX at all if I need to continually do this without anyone else's involvement. Okay, so... oh, how will I even do this? Huh. Now that I have no idea, actually. Okay, I'm solving too many problems at once. I'll leave this half-finished program here. It's not very good, but first I need to do the thresholds on the targeting. I'm gonna say I just pass... Okay, I guess here's what should happen. You're the one who does this work. You pass... move dat... X2. You pass your data onto someone else. Let's make that X3. Because that way I can put something right here. Yeah, great, but... then... oh, and I also overwrote that. No, there are multiple problems here. I think it's actually... I can solve it this way. So flash just means move that. After you've done this... okay, so if you're not flashing, you're gonna move that x3 early. Here you're gonna... yeah, okay, this works. Okay, so what I've done here is I have something that will... basically, this is doing a translation of incoming x and y into... shh, you're not doing anything useful. Yeah, nothing good happened there. This is doing a translation of incoming x and y into squared distance, and that does take a few instructions. I have this flash overhead just carrying through, like, all of these, and I don't love that. But that's just how it's going to have to be. So you are going to look very similar. That's x1, actually. That's like x1. But you don't have to worry about arithmetic. Just some comparisons. Okay, so dat is the player ID. Tech, dat, -1, jump flash. Sure, I don't know how I'll deal with that, but I'm just kicking that can further and further down the road. I'll get to it eventually. Move x1 ac. TLT ac 10. No, let's do this a different way. TLT ac 30 minus jump. Oh boy. Let's pretend x2 is my output. This won't fit. Maybe it will if I do it this way. Hang on. No, this will keep on moving values. No, I have to... wait, can I do a DGT here? Since it just happens that this is 10, 20, and 30... 20 less than or equal to... yeah, I can do a DGT here. Except in the case of 0. A perfect bullseye would not be detect... yes, it would. Yes, it would. Okay, so here's what I can do. Move x1 ac. Check this out. DGT1. All I care about is the tens digits. No, false, false, false. I'm not working with those values. No, no, no. I'm working with these values. Okay, then all I care about is the hundreds digits. Here. DGT, DGT2. So I get the hundreds digits. Distance less than 10. Okay, so if this is 0... okay, so I can't do a TCP anymore. In that case, there's no reason to DGT. Okay. I was planning to reduce this to 1, 2, 3, then TCP2, and decide what to do with that. But now that I see it, there are actually 4 cases here, not 3, so that wouldn't ever have worked. Okay. I think I need to get this flash logic out of here. I think that just needs to go to someone else entirely. So if you don't worry about flash, in fact, if you don't even get... Okay, let's pretend you're only getting a distance value. So that's T LT AC 100. Plus move 4 x2, let's say. I don't know if I want to output to x1. I might be able to restructure this. I think I can't. That's fine. I think I don't need to. TLT AC 400. Here, let's do this. 100. 104, 402, 900, 1. Instead of jump weight, I can minus move -2 x2. Alright, so this waits for the event and kicks off the rest of the process. This squares and adds the raw vector together into a single scalar value and passes it on to here. This okay, yeah, so this initiates the flash. I think here I want to send this to a different port, and that'll short circuit around that. Yeah, that's totally what I'm doing. All right, I'm not allowed to do this, but I can do this. Oops, no, this. All right, you sit here. This gets a distance value and checks all the thresholds to convert it to a point value, then passes that point value along to somebody else. Someone else is going to get a message when flash happens. By the way, dat goes to x1. Dat goes to x1 in both of those cases. That's fine. Okay. So actually, sure, that's fine. I can actually just do this. Since those are separate I/O lines, that won't get mixed up. Oh, but the problem is I'm overwriting dat in this process, so that's why I'm doing this here. Okay, that's fine. Right, I want to reuse the register for those calculations. Okay, so I pass on the player ID or -1 for, here, let's make this clearer. Yes, I could move dat, and it would be the same thing, but I want to make it very clear that this never happens when dat is anything but -1. Okay, so you'll handle the flash, you don't have to think about flash. All right, you pass that on to x2. x2 is going to connect to this x0, I think. So x1 kicks off the process. So what you get, now here's where things start getting interesting. You receive a player ID on x1, or a flash command, but assume it's not a flash command. You receive a player ID on x1 and a point value on x0. Okay, that sounds fine. What are you going to do with those? While you have 2 registers... Okay, now here's the other thing. Output on this has to be continuous. Alright, so I have to think about this problem. Every tick I need to output a point value if you have one. I can sleep until your first point value, yes. This is looking awfully familiar. I don't like it. Also, I don't like that name. I'm going to change that to end. It's shorter and actually more accurate to what's happening. Flash is just a side effect of the end. If I get a 0, I want to... okay, so where am I going to store these 2 point values is the question. Maximum score is 16, so I do need 2 digits. I guess a much simpler way to do this is... Okay, sorry, my thoughts aren't leaving any space for words to come out of my mouth right now. Okay, let's not worry about instruction space until I know what I'm actually trying to do here, then I can worry about it. So, someone has to keep score 1 and score 2 in registers, because they're going to have to continue being repeated here. My first instinct is I see 2 registers here, so I want to put score 1 here and score 2 here. Every time I think about that, I think, well, I gotta flash it 3 times. If I want to count to 3, then I need an extra register for that. Or I could maybe unroll that loop and, like, sleep 1, move AC, X, 2, move dat X3, sleep 1. How many lines is that? Too many. If I want to just literally do that 3 times... That's sleep 2, by the way, isn't it? It is. So right, flashing would take the entire instruction space here. So that's the problem with that. Counting to 3... would not be much shorter than this. Let's pretend I have 3 registers. Alright, so that left me 1 blank line. That left me 3 blank lines. Okay, so it saves 2 lines to do a count, but I don't have enough registers for it. Okay, so... again, let's kick this can further down the road, not think about flashing and just think about display. So when you receive a command... yeah, so forget about end for now. When you receive a command to add a number to someone's score... move X, no, add, oh, I need to X, because I have to add. Okay, right, so I can't use dat. I'm not getting a new score to overwrite the old one, I'm getting something to add to it. Okay, so I do indeed need... I think what this is going to end up being is I'll have 1 of these per player. So I basically have an I/O expander here. Or something like it. Alright, so... now you only have the AC register. These might have to both be MC6000s, annoyingly. There's room on the board for them. They might just have to be. You know what? Whatever. Let's just do it. Cost goes out the window. It's fine. I'll have the registers to do what I want to do. And it'll actually be decent. Okay, so I want these to be the same pin, so I'm going to do this. There, same pin. All right, so your X2 is your output to that. Both of these will have to be woken up for that. That's fine. That's okay. I guess that's okay. All right, X3 goes to your X0, X2 goes to your X0. What are your commands? These programs can be identical, so I'm not going to bother writing this one until I've written this one. They're going to independently flash and store their values. The current score will be stored in... it doesn't have to be dat, it can be ACK. Okay, so my commands are add to score and reset. You're the only one who's counting to 4, so you know when reset happens. When I add to one's score, I have to add 0 to the other one's score in case that's the first score being added because it needs to wake up. That's fine. I can do that. Okay, so if this is player index 1, score 2, x2. Okay. I move x0, x2. So the incoming point value gets moved to here, and then I move 0 to x3. I add 0 to your score, and then I jump to end. In the other case, I move x0 to x3, and I move 0 to x2. So I just flip these lines around and give the other command. And here you jump wait. Okay, and in this case... Yeah, this works. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do here. End means move -1, x2, move -1, x3. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so you're done. So what you're gonna do is SLX x0. Move x0 dat. So ACK is where your score is. Oh, wait, hang on. So I don't have an instruction that tests whether there's an XBus message available or not. I can't poll XBus. Do I communicate with simple pins? I don't have the wire space to get these simple pins here and here. I mean, there's no reason this has to be x2. That could have been x3. Then I could maybe snake something around there somehow. I don't think so. Okay, but wait, what am I doing with simple pins? I feel like I just had this problem like a moment ago where I need... Yeah, so the output has to be continuous. Every tick... You have to output something if you're awake. This is why I want to do the SLX and then have this put you into a different mode. But since I can't test if there's something on an XBus line, then either you'd have to be outputting to it every tick, which wouldn't work in this case, or I have to communicate over some other something. Okay, how am I going to repeat these values to the output? This is what I need to know. and still listen to this XBus line. I think I can't. I think there is no way to do this. So what I need to do instead is have someone who's always awake. Okay, sure. Then this can't be XBus, can it? If I can't SLX, how do I communicate over... If I can't SLX and I'm not communicating every tick, then I can't communicate. Okay, so this actually brings up an interesting design problem. How do I do that? Do I have to use a simple pin for this or something? Maybe I should use one of these to store values. Yeah, that's probably what it ought to be. Yeah, okay, so instead of having individual scoreboard controllers, you're kind of full on pins at this point. There are things I could do about that. Okay, let's see. If I were only talking to one thing... No. Yeah, so I did have this problem recently, and the way I did it was I buffered with a 100p14. That was the one that actually... Boy, there's like no board space for this. That was the one that actually stored the numeric values that needed to be able to be written in a non-blocking way. Yeah, there's just no way to maybe wait for a message, and if you don't get it, still do some processing that same tick, right? Like, this is just fundamental to this language, right? There isn't an instruction I've somehow missed here. You can either sleep, or you sleep on next pin. That's all. I could have this just pulsing to these every whatever. The problem is when they're in the flash loop, which I imagine is going to overtake their entire being, those messages won't clear. Man, XBus just is really hard to use. If I just had a TMX, test for message on XBus, instruction. Is that giving me an error? Yeah, there's invalid instruction. If I could just test for a message, I could do so much more. I wish I had that. There's no way to, like, fake it with any of these, is there? I wonder what this does. Probably nothing relevant to this. Logic gates won't help me. So the only thing that could is either simple pins, which again have timing problems because I'd have to wait for them to maybe be set if I want to act on them in the same tick, which I do. And the other way is with one of these. Okay, so I'm going to say this is fundamentally flawed. There is no way this will ever work as I have laid it out. So that's fine. You are using literally none of your registers. Okay, now you have some instruction space and pin space to spare. So you could actually kick off a process when you're done with your thing. Okay, I'll consider it. So I think your job... Oops. This thing up here's job now is going to have to be... Here, let's get some extra space. It's going to have to be to talk to a 100p14. So you're going to interface with that. Okay, I know how I can do this. You'll send a message back on X0, which you will wait for and pass on to X3, and that's what will read something out of this. How will that help me? No, this has the same problem. I'm once again waiting for an X-bus message on something that has to do something every tick. I can't do that. So unless I send a heartbeat, which only you could do, you could do it. You don't have instruction space to spare, and this wire can't go anywhere. Unless I change everything else, which I might be able to. That's actually pretty plausible. I might be able to. So downstream of something that's using SLX, I can't have a heartbeat. Therefore, I can do no X-bus communication at all on anything? Is that really true? What communication am I even doing anymore? Oh boy, everything's fallen apart. Is there any instruction space I can squeeze out of this? 010 minus jump weight. Alright, so if this is doing nothing, you want to wait. What the heck is this? What does this mean? Move dat x2? What? Okay, right, dat is the player ID. Yeah, okay, so you count the player ID. It starts at 0, it changes to 1, then it changes back to 0 and things reset. Okay, it's fine. Move P0 x2, move P1 x2. Count. Test if you counted to 4. If not, jump to wait. Reset to 0. Aha! Aha! Here's where I could do this. No, that's the wrong way around. I was thinking I could have somebody send you back a 0, but no, you want to send out a message. I want to send something on an X-bus line. That's fine. If you're flashing, you can just ignore. I'll implement flash another way that can process a message every time. But why? No, why is this a problem? Right. Okay. So, fundamental problem here is I cannot receive intermittent X-bus data if I'm... Yeah, okay. Okay, yes. I know what I'm trying to do here. I can't receive intermittent X-bus data if I'm doing something every tick, regardless of whether I receive that data or not. I could read some data that's stored in a 100p14 every tick, and also do other stuff, but I need to know when to read that. That's why I need the heartbeat message to delay my action for long enough. No, not this. This thing's action for long enough to get the latest data out of this. So that's why I want the end of this intermittent action to send out a message so that you can actually take your action. So you just have to wait until everyone else is done, which will require an X-bus message that sends after all the rest of the processing has completed. So what I want to do here, if I can squeeze out some lines, which I think I might not be able to, it doesn't entirely look like it, but what I'd love to do is to add a line in here that would just like move any random number out to X3, I guess, route X3 to this thing, have this SLX on that, and then when I receive that heartbeat, I do my thing. Because yeah, this does need to update immediately. Yeah, like secretly that's the actual hard part here. Distance formula? Just reduce it to 3 squared thresholds. Not that much of a problem. Organizing all the arithmetic and things, yeah, I'm taking up a bunch of space with all this stuff. I could compact this. Yeah, I could compact this, I think. Let's try. Target X will have to come out there and go to that. Target Y has nowhere to go. Maybe I can't compact this so easy with the DX300 in there. Do I need the DX300? If these are both simple inputs, then yes I do. Yeah, it just doesn't really want to compact. Okay. So anyway, but this heartbeat problem. Like, I need to send a message when the rest of the processing has finished. But you're the only one doing something every tick. I want it to be you and you're out of lines, and I think I've convinced myself these are all necessary. You count to 4. You reset your count, which is necessary. And then you decide what to do with that. Yeah, that's right. Wait. I could count to 8? If I count it... Okay, so let's try something. I can copy this. Part not on board, yeah, whatever. I just want to edit your code. What would it look like if I counted to 8? Oh, I have a problem here. I just noticed a bug. When the end happens, you're going to immediately send the end command rather than sleeping for a tick. I guess that's fine, depending on how I handle it downstream. But yeah, there's no sleep in between, because you move that, then in the same tick, you move that -1. Okay, so anyway, the idea here was that I don't use dat for this. If I wait until I counted to 8, then I do that. Wait, sleep point, jump, wait. T LT AC 4. This does save a line and a register. In fact, it saves 2 lines. Okay, and I think this is functionally equivalent. So yeah, based on the AC value, so instead of counting to 4 twice and counting from 0 to 1, I count to 8 and just test whether I'm less than 4 or not. So that's going to do the 0 and the 1. That sounds fine, and then I do those things. Then I add 1. So TLT AC 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Add 1, 8. Yes, okay, this all works. Reset to 0. Give the end command. Okay, so I could put... I could both do this and this. So that does allow me to fit those things. I'm not sure I want to do this. In fact, I'm not sure I want to do this either. Everybody downstream could worry about this, but this might make it easier. I don't know. This feels right. Oh, you get a heartbeat after that, huh? Here's a better idea. You sleep for the entire duration of the flash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's completely unnecessary. Help efficiency, though. All right, so X3, you're my heartbeat line. No, you're not, because all that does is it waits until your output line has cleared. It does nothing to wait for everything downstream to clear. So what I need... How many jump weights are there? Just one? Okay, so if a detect has gone off this frame, then I'm doing all of this. Wait, why do I have... Okay, so the jump, if I jump weight, I do still need the heartbeat, don't I? Ah, okay. So here's the heartbeat going out. All I need to do is move X2 null. Yeah, move X2 null, move 0 X3. Don't take the temptation to move X2 to X3 because X2 won't come back with anything on ticks or I'm jumping to wait. Okay, so those are the heartbeats. But I do need to wait, and I need to compact you a little bit too, to send back a message when you're done. And that message has to come from X1, I believe? Okay, so I need another line out of you. This has to go all the way to the end of the chain. I need to send a message at the end of the chain, and then I have to do the wiring. How confident am I in being able to wire this? Okay, for one thing I can do that. That helps. Does it? It feels like it could help in theory. Where would you go? This X0 doesn't have to go all the way up there. If I didn't use your X0, then... Oh man, and I have so much still to implement here for all this logic. Woof. And I suppose you could be compacted down to MC4000X. Because then I could have a line come through here. I don't know, what are you even doing? Let's write this part of the code. So yeah, I got my heartbeat out. Hold on. Let's stay on task. I'm not going to fix the wires right now. I'm just confident that I somehow can. There's plenty of space. It's just things might need to be shuffled around to actually access that space. And that's fine. I can shuffle. I'll find a way when I have to. First, you need one extra line to pass a message back here from here. So that's not X0. X0 dat. Tech dat -1. Let's jump in. Move dat X1. So you do need to know what came in. Can I TCP here? Maybe. Would it save lines? Maybe not. If I would TCP... Okay, so I can undo. That's fine. Let's... TCP X0 -1 minus jump end No, that really doesn't save lines because I would need 2 more to... It wastes a line, in fact. I would need 2 more to both... yeah, because this would have to look like... plus move... 1x1... neutral move 0x1... Then I'd have a skip label here, and I would need another plus jump skip. And it doesn't fit. Okay, so it does not save lines to do a TCP there. Using DAT is more line efficient. I don't really like that when I put my cursor over this, it lowers the contrast between the background and the code. So I prefer to leave it out when I'm not doing that. Also, still don't love how tiny this font is. But now I realize I kind of do need all this space on screen, so it makes sense. It's real small. Okay. Jump in. Move that x1. So player ID goes here. Move x0 ac. That's first of the 2 coordinate values. Mul ac. Move ac dat. So store it away. Move x0 ac. Mul ac. Add dat. Move ac x3. Jump weight, you say? That makes much more sense. Dat moves on no matter what it is. In fact, I'll even just put it here before the compare, just to make that extra clear. Dat always moves on to x1, therefore I can ditch this line and this line. Okay, you can just jump to... Okay, so no, I do need end. At the end, here's my heartbeat. Move x1, x0. Okay, there we go. So I did that portion of it. I knew I could come back that somehow. I was right. Yes, you always move that to x1. Okay, so I send a message down the chain, send a message down the chain, get a message back from the chain, get a message back. Now, you still need to do... Okay, you didn't need to change. You're the same as you ever were. You. What do you do? You gotta talk to this, yes. You gotta talk to this, yes. I would love if you would fit a 9 lines so I could get an IO line through here so that you could receive it, and then also talk to this. Ooh, okay, so physical space getting tough, but it's doable. I have this channel open potentially. Alright, so what do you actually do? Oh, so what's great about this... SLX x1. The first number you receive... Okay, so tech x1, -1. You don't need to know about -1, do you? I don't think you do. I think that's unnecessary. Yeah, I think you don't hear about that because you're only interested in updating this. Yeah, why would you need to hear about it? Cool. Okay, this is getting weird. So, when a -1 command comes in... Oh, I'm just discarding it here. No, I don't want to discard. Someone has to hear about it. Who? What's in your DAT register? Nothing? Nothing ever. X2... Let's jump, wait, we have 0, X3, no? Move -1, X2, wait. Why? Move -1, X3! Yeah! You get that heartbeat value. Okay, there we go. No reason to put the heartbeat down here. There we go. That simplifies so much of this. No -1s come down this chain. They just go out this line. That's much better. -1, X3. Okay, so have you already moved? X2 null. You do still have to wait for this. So I think I want that to happen. Yes, I want that to happen first. Hold on, things are getting weird here. Wait, let me make sure I'm thinking of this clearly. So, there is no reason ever to pass a -1 into this chain because it does not process it. The only one who processes -1 is downstream of X3. I go all the way down this hierarchy to you, potentially to you, then all the way back up. Then I tell X3, which is going to connect to something that actually displays score. I tell it, hey, there's something to do here. Okay, yeah. You don't do this at all. You move ACK to X3. There we go. And if you get a 0, then that's your end signal. Unless you're already off, because you'll get a 0 from that. Oh, okay, that's awkward. No, I don't. That's not perfect. Whoa, what the... Undo is doing like 2 things there. So that's not right yet. It could be. Maybe it is. You could get a whole chain of 0s and just know to keep on flashing when you get it. So I have no flash logic yet. That's still another thing that's going to be annoyingly non-trivial, I think. I think this is fine, as long as I write this so that when it receives a 0 and it's already off, it doesn't do anything. So there are 3 states in which this can receive a 0. When it's... Okay, so hang on. Move 0, ACK. Move X2, null. Wait, move ACK, X3. Okay, so one more time. When detect comes in, if nothing's happening, I still need a heartbeat. That's going to be whatever my counter value is. Possibly 0 if nothing's already displaying. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Or something greater than 0 if that's happened. Now the 0 that this tick right here has to update a scoreboard and also is going to receive 0 in this message. So just keep that in mind. All right, so giving myself some possible problems downstream, but I think this is all correct as it is. Okay, so you. Check it out. I don't need to do this at all. When you receive a message, you always bark back. Move dat x1. Oh, check it out. That's the only thing you're using dat for? No, not the only thing. But 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But also this. That's why you need to be one of those. Yeah, you never get a -1. You won't ever get a -1 anymore. So there's none of that. Therefore, there's none of this. Therefore, there's none of this. Hold on, but none of this means anything right now. Yeah, okay, this is gibberish. What I hope is that I can just move x1, since the first, it's a player ID, move that straight out to x3. So that gives you an address. Actually, I'd probably stick that in... Oh, shoot. I might have to repeat it. And I can't easily do that. Okay, well there are ways I can... There are other ways I can do this. That's maybe fine. Okay. x1, x3. Ah! Feeling some fatigue here. I've been doing this for a while now. What am I doing? After I get the player ID, I get a number of points to add on x0. So x0 comes in. I need to read this value. So I move x2 to ac, and I add x0. And then I guess I move ac to dat. Move x3 to ac, sub1. Move ac to x3, move dat to x2. That's the bad way to do it, and then move 0 to x1 to tell you I'm done with my job. I don't like that. It takes 10 instructions, and it uses a dat register, and it's very inefficient. If I could instead repeat x1... so that I could get the address back. Maybe I could connect... No, that won't work. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, just one delayed repeated value, which I could do. I could do that. Are you using your dat register ever? You're not. Okay. You can be my repeater. Here we go. So move x1, x3. Here we go. Okay, so I can do this. I'm going to compact this, then replace it with a 4000X. Oh, that's connected to nothing. Okay, so you're going to hang on to the player value for a moment and repeat it to you a second time. So I move x0 to... Oh, wait, you need to actually move that to dat first. Move x0 dat, move dat, x1, move dat, x3. Okay. So player ID comes in. It gets moved here, which wakes you up, and then you're going to try to suck a value out of this line, which won't be there yet. I move the player ID also out to here. You're going to just hang on to it while you do your work, and then afterward spit it out here. Great. X0 goes to ACK, mul ACK, move back dat. You overwrite dat because you're done with it. You've already moved it over here. You're hanging on to it. Do some arithmetic. Send that to X3. Then wait for something to come in on X0 and put it out there. Okay, great. Yeah, so move X1 dat. Move X1 ACK. So right, you receive the thing you have to hang on to, then the thing you have to operate on. You operate on it. Move some value to X2, point value, and then you move the address. Great. So this thing waits on X1. Move X1 to X3. Move X2, the data, to ACK. Add what comes in on X0. So this is going to stall for a bit while this does its work. Then what you do is none of this. You move X2, X3, the repeated value that was stored away in your DAT and sent over here. So that goes to the address. Move ACK, X2. Okay. Set address from your player index. Read address. Add point value, or sorry, read data at that address. Add point value. Set address based on the repeated player index from you. Write updated point value. Send message. So the I'm done message comes through here. Perfect. Okay. And then there we go. Space freed up. You can send that over there. Cool. This will come in like here maybe. Minor annoyance. That takes up an X bus line. Making me short one. Okay, well there's space for another one of these. I guess it's gonna have to be, well, another one of these. There isn't space for another one of these. Okay, so what's your job? Alright, so finally, I've had this part, this far downstream. Hold on, I can, no, it'd be a pin type mismatch. I can't, wait. I can do, that's right, I observed this before. I can, no, I can't. I can't go down through here because of the pin layout on the MC6000. It just doesn't let me do it. Well, at least you don't need your simple pins. Okay, so anyway, what's your job? SLX X3. I don't care what comes in here. Yes, I do. TLT. Ooh, okay, so there's a few things you need to do with that value coming in. So if it's ACK, no. If it's 0, okay, tech ACK, no, tech X3 0. The problem is that there are two different kinds of zeros, and there's really nothing I can do about that, is there? There is. Isn't there? There is. Move -1 x3, jump, wait. Or jump, sleep. I move a different value. There's no reason... No, wait, no, but you do need that move 0 ac. You would need an additional line here, but this would need to not happen. Move x2 null. Move ac x3. Well... Everything here would be much easier if I could be told when I'm resetting and distinguish that from when I'm already off. Yeah, I really need that. I really need that to fit things over here. Okay, so how can I do it? I need a different value to come out here. In this case, right here. That needs to happen, which means... Oh! That's okay, I can just discard the 0. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. That's fine. You can just discard the extra 0. Sure. That is totally fine. Tech x3 -1. So that's all I care about. If I get a -1... Right, so it'll be a double heartbeat in that case. Plus move x3 null. So I'll get an extra 0. Plus move flash. Okay, so this is actually flash. Well, it's flash and reset. And also display the, also do the... That's fine. You have nothing to do with changing these values. That's not true. You have something to do with changing those values. Okay, whatever. Let's write the negative case here. I'll worry about what to do in the positive case later. Move 0, x1. Move x0. I would love to be able to move this to just directly take an XBus line here and put it out to score 1 and score 2. The problem is I need an IO expander, so it's gonna have to be this way. I guess that's fine. Move x0, x2, move x0, x2. This will probably need to help with flashing anyway. So this is how I would do that without flashing. When I receive a message from you, I take the first argument, I put it here, I take the second argument, I put it here. Okay. So this is actually complete for everything before, is it? Now there's the special case of displaying nothing, in which case you wouldn't do this at all. Okay, so if I get a 0, that's interesting, that's right. 0 is a special case, right. So -1 is reset, 0 is do nothing. Yeah, okay, so TCP x3 0. This becomes minus, this becomes plus. Neat. And this becomes nothing. So you don't display... Okay, so I think I might actually have a working program here short of the flash reset thing. So it'll never reset, it'll never flash. But everything else here might be okay. It did advance, it did heartbeat with something that did nothing. Let's just advance and see what happens. Blocked and right? Really? Why? That I didn't expect. Okay, so something went wrong there. Add x0. So you're waiting for that x0 to come in. You wait for the x1 to come in, sure. Move back x3, so here you get it. You do the threshold stuff. It's a -2 pointer. Accurate. So you add the x0, yeah. And then you want to move that to x2. Move x2, x3, I think. That's definitely not what I wanted. I wanted to move x0, x3. Yes. Okay, so I just had a typo there. Hey, look, it worked. Okay, so that's great. All right, so this was wrong. It's partially working. All right, so what happens? So when this came in, go to that address, the -2, yes. Read the -2. Sure, you did it. Add this, which is going to be written later. Okay, so move dat to x3. All right, so you got it stored away in your dat. It's player index 0. x0 comes in, and it's 67. Right, and that's the x coordinates. Oh, do I have my x and y reversed? No. And it wouldn't matter if I did. They're literally the same. So yeah, there is no such thing as reversing them. They're the same thing. Mul-ac, move-ac dat, x0 dat, mul-ac add dat. That doesn't look right. Ah, check it out. I missed something completely. And it's easy to fix, and I even have the 2 lines to do it. So I forgot that this is 0 to 100, and 50 is the neutral value. Of course, move x0 ac sub 50. Move x0 ac sub 50. There we go, that'll work better. Okay, same point value. There we go, much better. Okay, so 50 equals 0, 0 equals -50, 100 equals 50. Wow, check it out, it all works. I'm just missing a component there, of course. So, right, I need the logic for this. My IO expander here is actually totally fine. It might not even have to change for the flashy stuff. Okay, so how am I going to do this? All I need is the end state. So that's literally just do this, sleep 2, do this, sleep 2, do this, sleep 2. Oh, okay. Display sleep 2, display sleep 2, display sleep 2. So it's basically 4 actually. Move 4 ac. Wait, but... Okay, so no, hang on. So you discard a value. No, wait, that's not... Alright, so yes, you have to discard the extra incoming value there, sure. In the minus case, you also want to move 4 to ACK. That's fine, you can do that. Yes. Okay, now when you get a 0... When you get a 0, that means do nothing. This might be fine. Wait, what the heck am I doing? Okay. I have a plan here. So ACK will normally be 0 here. When you get a -1, you discard this value because it means nothing, and then you set this value to 4. So that's how many times to count down and do the flash action. Doing the flash action is identical to displaying, with an extra caveat of gt ACK 0 plus sub 1 plus sleep 2 plus jump disple. I can't do that because heartbeats are coming in. Okay, so that's insufficient, but I think it's close. Also, what is any of that? What does positive ACK mean? So, wait, if you get... What did I have in here when this was working? Like when this was mostly working, just minus the reset stuff. It looked like this. Yeah, on 0 you did nothing. Okay, right, so that's the nuance I need here. I need to do nothing on 0. That's why I had the minus jump disple plus jump disple. Okay, now, so that means I need, move x3. Yeah, TCP doesn't actually save me anything here, does it? Move x3, let's just say that. Tech dat -1. We'll do that. Tech dat 0. Plus. Jump to wait there. If I could have you sleep, I wouldn't have to worry about messages coming in on this. Maybe I can do that. Maybe. I'm not sure yet. Let's think about this logic first. I think I'm almost there. I think I'm very close. Just got a few more loose ends to button up. Mixed metaphors, what are you talking about? Tech dat -1, tech dat 0. I don't think this is saving the instructions, is it? Because I'm already full. Okay, so jump, wait if it's 0. Discard and move that if it's -1. Do the display. That's completely reasonable. If we're looping, subtract 1. Sleep 2, and keep displaying. Yeah, okay, so this is all perfect if I can slip a sleep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I can slip a sleep 7 in here. 8. Sleep 8. Okay. How can I put a plus sleep 8 right here? Okay, weirder than that. Oh, that's not weirder. Okay, so I can delete this, by the way, if I'm doing the sleep. It doesn't help me save lines over here, but it does mean you would just get an extra 0 after that, and that would be completely fine. Okay. Somehow, right in here, I need to add a plus sleep 8, and everything will work. I'll be done. I suspect. How will I do that? So this is waiting for... Okay, so attack x0, jump wait. TLT AC4. 0x2, move 1x2. Okay, right, so that's deciding the player ID. Could I have somebody else calculate that from AC? Maybe. Like, if you absolutely have to save lines, maybe I could have someone else do it. Who? There's nobody free, so maybe not. Move P0x2, move P1x2. It would be awfully nice if I could compact this. Add 1, take AC8. 0 AC. You have to reset it. You have to send the end signal. You have to clear the I/O line and then do the wait. I can't sleep X2 because you don't know anything about termination. I'm the only one who's counting here. Sleep 1. Can I parameterize this number? Yeah, maybe you can send back the number of ticks to sleep. What if I did that? I like that. That sounds like the way to do this. Yes. You send back a number of ticks to sleep. You only have one line to spare here, though, and I'm not sure I can fit that in. Yeah, with only one line to spare, I can't. Can I sleep X3? I am, in all cases, sending this message. Oh, but then I can't do the wait to process this because I was expecting my sleep to be here. Okay, so you'd have to discard and then get 2 more lines in here. Okay, maybe I can shift some of your responsibilities down here. So I like this idea. How can I make you responsible for some of what this does? I'll bet I can do it somehow. Select X3, move X3 dat, tech dat, -1. 4 AC, tech dat 0, jump wait. 0x2, move X0x2. That's about as compact as it's gonna get, isn't it? Okay, how about this? Move dat x2, well, then I'm out of lines. I was thinking move dat x2, let it process that however it needs to, and then move its result to x3. That sounds good. Is there a way I can get away with that? -1, 0. Let's see, can I make this friendly? I can make it friendlier to something maybe. Okay, so this needs to take an extra action on -1. And it needs to just do nothing on 0. So on exactly 0, it does nothing. I'm looking at these lines to see if I can trim something. Like, yeah, this plan is good. It's just that I need to actually somehow find a way to... How much do I need? Do I just need 2 extra lines here? I think it might be a little more complicated than that. Oh, yeah, this is not so simple. I guess, well... Oh... This has multiple problems, doesn't it? Because here's the thing. This... Two messages are going to x3. Okay, so when it gets a -1, it still does need to discard, and I'm currently not doing that. So I still would need move x3 null. Okay, so I need to discard the next value coming in. Post that stuff. So no matter what, whether it's 0 or more. Okay, so in the... Alright, so I need 2 lines. I need a plus move 8x3 minus move 1x3. Right here. That's what I need. If I have received a -1, yes, I clear the IO line and then I tell you to sleep for 8 ticks. If I received anything else, I tell you to sleep for 1 tick. Okay, I need to save 2 lines out of this, and everything will work. Because you two are communicating every tick, and this would tell you how long to sleep. Okay. So to save 2 lines from here, what responsibility can you take from this? Because this is where the room is. It can't be anything to do with IO on this. I don't have the IO space for it. Unless it's the address. Oh. You do address, you do data? How would I wire? I don't think I would. I don't think I can. Because I'm out of board space over here, and I can't put any wires over there. I like that, though. That saves me 1 line. I need to save 2, and I can't wire it. So I don't think that works. Hold on! You can do data. I don't need more I/O pins here. That connects just fine. Yeah, that connects just fine. If you never use your X0, then that works. I like that, because you receive 1 message, and you actually just go ahead and read your data after the address has been set. Yeah, there's no way you're ever setting your own address. That's fine. This has to do it. So I move 0 to x1. Uh-oh. In the display loop, I'm telling you stuff. So if I'm moving any responsibilities down here... if I'm moving any responsibilities down here, then that's no good. Alright, so I'm just gonna... Like, I can do this, and I've saved one line. Maybe I can just, like, squeeze one out somewhere else. Okay. Since I'm using... Since I need to detect both -1 and 0 and do different things on them. And the 0 case is the jump. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't want to TC... Okay, if I were to TCP x3, 0. Plus jump dispel. Minus move 4 ac. Minus move x3 null. Minus jump dispel. Neutral jump wait. That'd free up a register, but it wouldn't free up any lines, right? Yeah, because that would be the same thing, right? Technically, it'd be more efficient, so sure, might as well. So TCP. Hold on. But what I want is lines. I don't care about performance. I need a line. I need one line. That's all I need. This is the classic for loop. It won't ever get any more compact than that. Like, that's exactly what has to be here. Detect at 0 plus jump wait. Yeah, so there's just nowhere this can go. If I could not do this, but then that's putting more lines in here, because you have to do that. Ooh, this is a known though. Check this out. If I can use that, this is a known value. This will be a 0 when I do this. Can I productively use that 0 in a way that saves me a line? I don't think so. I can move it to x1, sure, but you're still going to have to move that same 0 in there. Take that, x3. No, that's not right. For x, so wait, what are the lines I'm putting here? So I'm... No, wait, even though I'm using this as an IO expander, that doesn't mean it can't do more things when it gets value here. Oh yeah, and I'm just discarding the value. Okay, so these can be different commands. These can be different commands. Move 0, x1. But what? Wait, I have a spare line here. So move x3. That's a 0. Move x3, x2. Okay, so on the plus, I'm trying to... Here we go. This does it. So I move x3 to x2. I clear the IO line. I use that 0 to send a command to you. 0 will now have a meaning. This is going to have to be something else. This will have to be 1. Or something. And then I move x2 to x3. You... Wait, no. I still need my minus... I still need my minus case. I still need my I need that, but I also need plus move. Yeah, so I need this. But I need plus move 8 x3. And there's no cheating I can do there. So this is a 0, that's not an 8, it's not a 1. I have to put this into ACK. I can't, this can't do a loop. Unless you, no, you can't. I have to reset the address every time I want to read the score for the flash. So no, this has to be the way that it is. X3 dat. Okay, so how about this? Okay, I got something real weird going on here. If I were to move X3 to X2, then I can do a TCP X2 0. This is really strange. So right, I would use this as a TCP reformatter. The problem with TCP here is that the 0 case is the one that wants to jump. Let me go back a little bit. Okay, so I don't know, -10. Arbitrarily I choose, if it's not that, then you do that. If it is that... No, wait, no, no. X3 to ACK. Tech ACK negative... here. 909 means display something. If that's not what's happening, then what do? I can mutate that value and send it back. I don't have a lot of lines to do that. That was my idea, but before I write something weird here, I should know what weird thing I'm writing. Okay. The idea would be, I move X3 to X2. That's a value in the range of -1 to 8. No, -1 to 7. I want my negative case to be jump weight. Right, so that's a TCP X2 0. Let's say. So my negative case is jump weight. That's the 0. My positive case is -1. And my neutral case is... Oh, this is not right, though. No, because I still need the... I still need the minus for the negative. Okay, so... I can't send a 7 and then send a 1. No, I have to send either an 8 or a 1. So I do need a minus case here for this. I'm so close. I just... How do I squeeze anything else out of here? It's hard. I don't know, and I need to give my eyes a rest. I'm gonna stand up and walk around for a moment. I'll be right back. Oh, I think I got a weird janky way to do it. Okay, so ignore these snippets of code. They went nowhere. There were attempts to do something that just didn't work. But check this out. Here's a cool little hack. So without changing much... Oh, okay, no, it needs to be exactly 0. Tech.0. Remove this jump weight. Minus. Leave it on. Okay, so disable minus. T EQ AC 0 minus. So I allow this to disable all of these lines if it is 0. Yeah, okay. So if it is not 0, it does these. If it is 0... Right, if it's not 0... If it is 0, it just skips them and essentially does what jump weight would have done. If it is not 0, then this is active, this is active, this... AC is currently 0. Then yeah, it disables all of these and jumps... Okay, it's weird, but I think it works. So I disable the entire loop on that. I mean, you can see what this does. Apparently I can't explain it, but it should work. Like I'm just using this conditional to disable the entire thing. This conditional is largely unaffected if I just invert it and use all minuses here, because if I was disabling those lines just to jump here anyway, it doesn't make a difference whether these are disabled or not. Okay, so that gives me the one more extra line I needed. Plus move 8 x3. So when you have a -0, you sleep for 8 ticks. Minus move 1 x3. In all other cases, you sleep for 1 tick. And that'll always execute one way or the other, because that's a tech, and I do it before I compare to 0. Okay, I think that's probably going to do it. It did it. Except I have some failures there. Okay, well, they got further than I've been before. Is this just flashing forever? What happened? Or am I flashing too many times? Okay, so this kicks off the whole chain. We do all this stuff. Take AC 8. It is. Move 0 to AC. Move -1 to x3. Okay. Shouldn't... Wait, that's happening at the wrong time. To x3, yeah, move -1. Okay, so I just need to reverse these because you still need to wait. Yeah, okay, I had fixed this a while back, hadn't I? When's the appropriate time to do that? I guess here, just to be sure it happens before anything goes to x3. Okay, so that makes it very clear. This happens immediately before both of these. Okay, I don't know if that problem was caused by this not waiting for these to update. It probably wasn't. But let's see what happens now. Okay, so this will make more sense. It has to wait until... I can actually just break point at this move -1. Okay. So we're here. These have finished their jobs. 3 is written there, 2 is written there. That's what is supposed to be output, and it will be. I know this part works. Move x3 dat. I wish I remembered the keyboard, the key that steps. Let me just press every key on my keyboard. Space plays and pauses. There's no tooltip for it, so space does that. There's got to be one that does it, right? Oh. So D advances. S doesn't step. E steps. There we go. Perfectly. Okay. So space simulates, D advances, S... Or, not S. E steps. Okay. So where am I? -1's going here. -1 went there. Into that. Okay. That is -1. 4 goes to ACK. I discard this value, as I should. You go to sleep for how much I tell you to, which is 8. Cool. Then I go into this loop. Dat is not 0. So move 0x1. Address gets set to that. Move 0x2. You're told to do a thing. ACK is not currently 0. So I sub 1. Sleep 2. Right, that finished its job. Am I just doing this one time too many, or like what's happening here? ACK is 1. Yeah, so that still makes sense. I flash for the last time. I'm sleeping 2. Oh, wait a second. Then I'm displaying again. Okay, so I think I need to change my something here. Wait, but you didn't do anything wrong. Okay, what are you doing right there? X3 wants to come here. ACK is 0. What were you doing on that line? Also, hang on, this... Right, so this was told to display some stuff. That's the problem here. Oh no! I need to wipe out the scoreboard when I reset. I forgot an entire step. Great. So that's why these displays are wrong. Let's see, so this is the number of additional times to display the thing. So it's 3 more after you do it. So I think at least this will fix that first problem there. This is D. Okay, so D to advance. Alright, so that fixes the first problem there. However, who's going to reset this? No one has space except you, but you don't have access to... Oh, okay, well... But how will you know when to do it? All you know is when you're told to display stuff. Oh no. Oh no. What a bad time to discover that. I have no room on the board for another microcontroller. I have no room in any of my microcontrollers to reset this. I don't even have a control flow for when that stuff is all done. Like, I literally do not know when my flash is finished and I can reset. Oh, that's terrible. Here's where I have instruction space. I see this unoccupied spot on the board, but I don't think I can do much with it. The only thing that happens when I'm done with stuff is that this counts down to 0 and just finishes its normal loop and goes back to just doing its job. How would I do this? How can I possibly do anything about this? Okay, so I need exactly two things. I need detection of when I'm done flashing so that I can reset this, and I need a place to put code that actually resets it. Feels like I need more lines here, and you're the one who would write the two values to that. So I send you either a display command or an overwrite command. Oh, check it out. I can do that. I don't have the instruction here, but let's pretend I did. I think I can maybe fit this here. I no longer think that. Hold on. Okay, so loop. Move 0. X0. You can't read the address because you don't have a data line to it. I can't have you count to a number. Can I? So I put something in ACK here. This will have been set to 0. So I guess I'd put 14 into ACK. That actually fits, doesn't it? It kind of looks like it does to me. So I pulled the same trick here, putting this all in a minus. Well, I'm glad I learned that new fundamental trick, how to do a loop without having to be in its own conditional space, potentially. So I do the whole loop. It's disabled if you get a 0. If you get a non-zero, then it's a number of those to reset. So this will not change the program, right? It doesn't. Okay, good. And you can write 14 values to this to reset it. Okay, so that's where that fits. Now, I still have the problem here that I have no detection, because I'm doing this loop trick. I have no detection of the end of the loop. It just ends. And I don't know anything about it. Any different from that I got a 0 here. I guess on all zeros I could reset the whole thing? Ugh. I don't like it. And like I still can't do that because... Okay. Oh no. Okay, that looks like it's working to me. Alright, it's close to an hour later. I just had to go silent and go into pure focus mode to figure out what I needed to do to fix this. I went down a lot of dead-end paths, and you don't need to see all of them. But it does seem like I have a reset and a successful second run. So here's what I did. I got a whole bunch of copies here. What do I even have here? So this was the attempt to change the layout that went nowhere. This was my one that does one run just fine, but messes up right here. Okay, so that's what that new one is based on. This is just like testing out new stuff. I can delete this now. You can go away. Copy is the one that actually works. Okay, so note this microcontroller here. At some point I eventually realized that I could get some extra space by putting an MC4000X here and putting another one down here. So that expands these 14 lines all the way up to 18. So I get 4 extra lines split across 2 microcontrollers. After that, it was just a matter of taking this program and splitting it into 2 while keeping the parts intact and also adding this one extra task. And I did it. I don't even know how I did it. I didn't have the brain power to articulate it, so let's see what even happened here. So yeah, this line comes to x0 now, instead of looping around an empty space up there. And then x2 moves on to this. The rest of the wiring's pretty much the same. This guy down here still has the wire to the address line, and then moves it on to this one. Yeah, everything else, everything that's not these two is identical to the other one. So it just happened that I was able to split these two up, just barely. It took a lot of efforts. Let's run... So, okay, pulling a couple of tricks here. Let's just go through the code. So wait for a message on this, as normal. That's expected. I move it into ACK instead of DAT, because you don't have a DAT register and you're not using your ACK for anything else. If I have not gotten a -1, then I'm not terminating. I simply move a 1. I tell you to sleep for 1 tick. That's still the same. Then I have this minus tech ACK 0. If you are a -1, it won't check whether it's 0 or not. It'll just do this, then fall through right back to wait. Okay, and that was how I saved an instruction. Somehow, I forget why this had to be... I had to not test 0 if I've already tested -1. I mean, it makes sense. If it is -1, then of course it's not 0. I don't need to do that. But this was necessary for some reason. Oh boy, what a nightmare this puzzle was. I was away for about an hour doing that, by the way, just so you know, on top of all that time that's already there. And then I move 0 to x2. Okay, so I give it a value of 0 if I have not gotten a -1. That goes on to be the number of extra repetitions of display. If I have gotten a -1, if it's the end, I move 5 to x2. What the heck is 5? I'll explain that in a bit. This used to be 3 over here in the copy. So I'd move 3, which means 3 extra flashes. But that turned into a 5 because I'm pulling off a trick. That's how I get my termination value in there. That's how I know that when I've completed this loop, I actually have something more to do. And then, right, I discard this extra value that's still coming in, and then I tell it to sleep for 8 ticks. Okay, so that's all as before. So here I wait to get a value on x3, it goes into ACK, so that's my countdown for how many dispels to do. So I enter the dispel loop. I set x0, the address line, to 0. This line was real hard to get in here. This was the last piece of the puzzle that I put in. I tell x2, the actual displayer, to display something. Then I do a TCP here on ACK. If it is 0, then it falls through and does nothing else, because all the rest is in pluses and minuses. If it's greater than 0, I sub 2. I sub 2 because I'm going from 5 to -1 instead of 3 to 0. And then I sleep 2. And then I jump dispel. Sure. So I keep going until I have passed 0, but this time I go all the way past 0. So when this is 0, it just displays once and does nothing else and falls through and continues. If it's greater than 0, so let's say it's 3. You know, I've already done one of these. TCP goes to the plus case and subtracts 2 and gets 1. It sleeps and jumps back here, so I have 1. TCP goes to the plus case, I subtract 2, I end up with -1. I sleep 2, I jump back to dispel, I display again, which is fine. Then the TCP goes to the minus case because it went all the way past 0 to -1. And this is where I snuck in this one line to move 14 to x2 to trigger the other side of this. So right, I attack ACK 0. If it is 0, I do this. If it's not, the rest of this is disabled with minuses. I do 14 writes of 0 to this, to zero it out. And check it out, it all actually works. At least for that case. I hope there aren't any problems in future test cases. There shouldn't be. As soon as I get over the hump of resetting and doing the second one, it all works great. Well, average on cost and power usage, but above average on lines of code. Alright, so somebody managed to do it with less. Well, a lot of people managed to do it with a lot less. Good for them. That's not me. Fourth graph is way the heck over here, off screen. But you can see that at the bottom of your video player. Begin forward message from Enzo Capretti to security. I don't even remember what was going on out here. Are the practice ranges operational now? Yep, they're working great, and we're already seeing improvements in accuracy. Numbers for you soon. Thanks for sorting that one out. All right. So during that hour, I was thinking about, what do I do with this pile of footage? I'm not going to solve this puzzle today, so I'm going to have to do something, but I guess you just get the whole thing all at once. That's the experience of this game. This is how long it took. This puzzle was a total nightmare of my own making because I backed myself into a corner, but I eventually found a way out by claiming those 3 cells of space. That's how I did it. Okay, let's not make this any longer than it needs to be. Bye. See you next time for this stuff.